We're going to look ahead to a very special occasion at Goodison tomorrow. It is the final WSL Merseyside derby to be played there, and I'm delighted to say that Peter Macfarlane from the Blue Room joins us on the line to look ahead to tomorrow's game. And it's been a while, Peter, since we last spoke, but it's good to talk to you today. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Paul. Yeah, it's great to join you again. It has been a while, hasn't it? I think just because of how the fixtures have sort of landed, I haven't been able to get in to see you, but I'll be down there soon.
Excellent. Sounds good to me. And as I say, we are just 24 hours away, Peter, from one of the biggest occasions in women's sport at the Merseyside derby at Goodison, and a game tomorrow that I think is going to be hugely emotional because, of course, as I say, it is the final WSL Merseyside derby to be played at the Grand Old Lady.
Yeah, it's a huge occasion. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. I'm sure the players will be feeling it. There is a lot of pressure on our team as well, especially with it being the last last women's derby to be played at Goodison Park. And obviously with the history of Goodison Park, I'm sure they want to add to that history as well. We've been at the Grand Old Lady since 1892, 132 plus years of history in the ground, and I'm sure that the girls will want to add to that history tomorrow.
Absolutely, and we know it's going to be a great occasion. I know that the Women's Supporters Club have teamed up with the 1878 to provide a flag show for the derby tomorrow. The exhibition, I believe, is going to be taking place at the Gladys Street end, which, as we know, Peter, is famous for the volume and the vocal support when the Blues take to the pitch. And I know you've been involved today as well in getting some of the preparation ready for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, it's been going on for over the last week. In particular, it's ramped up. A number of us from the supporters club went down on Thursday to sort of lay the flags out, get a bit of a plan in place, and then I've gone away and sorted all of the names and positions for everyone to stand in. There's a lot of work that goes on sort of behind the scenes, if you like, until leading up to what you see before kick-off. But yeah, it's us playing our part at the end of the day. The fans have got to do their part. The fans have got to get behind the team. We've got to do as much as we physically can to try and lift the players, and then it's over to the players to go out there and perform and fight for us. As I say, I think it's so important that the players feel that love and that support from the stands. And in that case as well, it's so important that we have as many people there as possible. I am aware that there are a number of tickets still available. So if anyone hasn't got your ticket yet, it's a 3 o'clock kick-off tomorrow. Great excuse to go down to Goodison Park, take the kids. You might not get many more chances to go down. It's £10 for adults, £2 for kids as well, which, you might not get many more opportunities to do that. And on top of that, you get to watch a fantastic Everton team go out there and absolutely give it their all for our badge.
Yeah, absolutely right. And, there will be pressure on the players tomorrow because we should say that in terms of the season so far, it's clearly not been the start that Brian Sorensen and his team were hoping for. 7 games without a win in the league, just 3 points on the board so far as well. What do you put that down to, Peter?
Well, I think first of all, we've had a number of season-ending injuries, which couldn't have happened at a worse time, and to 2 players in particular who would have been so vital for us this season, Yaya Ghali and Imma Gabaro. Lost those 2 in the first 2 games to ACL injuries. So I think that's always going to knock the squad, especially when we've got such a small squad anyway. We don't really have cover for those 2 particular players that, Imma was brought in the summer to add that little spark in the final third. She looked very lively in pre-season, looked great in the first sort of game, and then the first 10 minutes before she got injured against Manchester United. So she in particular was a huge loss for that final third. We've got a number of other really key important players, like Karen Holmgard. She's been out all season so far. We're hoping that she'll be back in a few weeks. But Elisa Stenovic as well has missed the last few, and she's going to be out probably till the new year. So we have had a number of injuries to key players, and unfortunately with a squad this size, it's reflected in the results. We're not really able to change things up too much. Which again probably goes back to the lack of funds, the lack of leadership from the very top of the football club. When we've got this absent owner who seems to have pulled the plug, unfortunately the women's team are affected too. And that's in no means saying anything negative about the people who are left behind to run the football club. I think they're doing a fantastic job with what they've got. But at the end of the day, until the financial situation is sorted and the new owners come in, people are working with one hand tied behind the backs, so the sooner that's sorted, the better. In terms of our season going forward, as long as we can get some reinforcements in January, we need to stick together as a team until then. Get some reinforcements in January. I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine. I've got every faith in this squad of players and the manager as well. I feel like, as I say, with a bit more backing, I think we can really improve.
Well, let's hope that the women's team do get that backing, as I say, when the takeover is completed. On a positive note, though, Peter, last weekend, Everton did come back from behind to get a point in a 1-1 draw at Crystal Palace last Sunday. And that was a game in which Brian Sorensen said that he was pleased with the character and also the determination shown by his players.
Yeah, I think he would have been massively frustrated with how we started the game. I think he said in his post-match himself that he expressed to the players that he wanted them to go, not start hoofing the ball up, but certainly go a bit more direct and try and get the ball forward a lot quicker. And unfortunately, we got caught out after 30 seconds playing the ball out from the back, and we were punished for it. But the way the team galvanised and Captain Meg Finnegan got them all together in a huddle straight away and managed to get the heads back in the game. And we really went up Crystal Palace, especially in the second half, the last sort of half an hour, once the substitutes came on. We really had to go with Palace, and I kind of feel like that last half an hour is probably the blueprint for us going forward. I understand that we want to keep possession of the football, but there's got to be meaningful possession in there, and I think we showed that in the second half against Palace, and hopefully we can bring that into Sunday and going forward as well. And
also delighted as well for Honoka Hayashi scoring her first goal for Everton last weekend as well.
Oh, fantastic! What a player! Plays with a smile on her face as well. But she's make no mistake, she's one of the biggest battlers in the squad. Fantastic player, gets around everywhere. I'd love to see the stats for the amount of ground she covers during a game. But again, it was a fantastic goal as well. Really nice build up. I think it was Claire Wheeler played it out to the right hand side. Honoka Hayashi did a bit of a give and go, and a great ball in by Sari. Honoka followed the ball in and got a fantastic header onto Sari's cross. It was a fantastic team goal. It was a great bit of play from Hayashi as well, and hopefully that'll instill a bit of confidence in her as well going into the derby. A player that I've been really impressed with since she signed in the summer. Yeah, she's a player, I think, who works incredibly hard for the team, isn't she? So we'll see what more we get from Hayashi in the coming weeks. Let's just look ahead then to tomorrow. We should say that Everton, Peter, they've got a decent record against Liverpool in the women's Merseyside derbies. I think it's 7 years since Everton were last beaten by Liverpool on home soil. You talk about the injuries. Clearly, it's not been the start Everton wanted, but how do you see this one playing out tomorrow? I think it's going to be tough. I don't think we can underestimate Liverpool. I think they had a very good season last season. I wouldn't say it was a false position, but I think every season you kind of had that team who sort of surprised everyone. I think last season it was Liverpool. I think this season it's probably Brighton, although they have invested very well. The season before, Villa, and the season before that, arguably, it was ourselves. So it's. But I do. Think that Liverpool are a strong side. They probably haven't had the most consistent start to the season. I think it's fair to say. But yeah, we certainly won't be underestimating them. Having said that, we do have a fantastic record, certainly at their place as well. If we were playing at Anfield, I think we'd be even more confident because we seem to have a bit of a hex over them when it comes to Anfield. But yeah, at Goodison, I feel like we owe them one. We've drawn the last couple in front of big crowds. So at Goodison, we've managed to beat them away at Anfield, three wins on the bounce. So it's about time for us to get a win at home, I think. Yeah, just a word about Liverpool. They are mid-table in the WSL. They have got a game in hand over other teams as well. But they do come into tomorrow's game on the back of that 3-0 home defeat at the hands of the reigning champions, Chelsea, last weekend. I know Matt Beard was very disappointed to lose 3-0 at home, albeit against Chelsea. He said that they prepared all week, and we told the players, if you give Chelsea the opportunities, they will take them, and that is what happened. So Liverpool will be looking, obviously, to bounce back tomorrow for that game. But, playing at home against Chelsea in the WSL, that's always going to be a tough test, isn't it? Oh, it is, as we found out, and not too long ago. In the game before Palace, we played them at Goodison Park, ironically, and they played us off the park. To be truthful, I think we had spells in the game where we managed to go toe to toe with them, but unfortunately the game got away from us. And Chelsea are a fantastic side, so I don't think Liverpool can read too much into, or we can read too much into the result against Chelsea, the same way our result against Chelsea doesn't really reflect on how good a team we are. I just think that you've got to be realistic, and Chelsea have got 3 or 4 players for every position. They've been backed massively financially. They've got a really settled squad and a fantastic new manager. So I think in terms of the benchmark, Chelsea are miles ahead of everyone else in this league, with the exception possibly of Man City. I wouldn't read too much into Liverpool losing 3-0 at home. I think this will be a completely different type of game. I think both teams will be going at each other. I don't think either team is going to be overly cautious. I think both teams are going to want to go out there and win.
And I know, Matt Beard says that it's been a difficult time for Liverpool as well to some degree, because they've had key personnel missing as well. But looking at the team news for Everton tomorrow, we know that Lucy Hope, the defender, she missed the game at Palace last weekend due to illness. There is a possibility that Lucy will be back with Everton tomorrow. I don't know whether you're aware of any other team news that you can bring us ahead of tomorrow's game.
Nope. To be honest, I wouldn't. Just in case anyone from Liverpool's listening, I wouldn't say it anyway. No, but I think Lucy, from what Brian had said last week, I think Lucy was sort of a late. She pulled out quite late from the Palace game. She woke up in the morning feeling ill, but he's confident that she'll be available tomorrow. Other than that, we've got a number of long-term injuries, as I've touched on before. I think it's too soon for the likes of Karen Homegaard and Lee Stenovic. Obviously, long-term injuries to Kenzie Weir, Yaya Ghali, Imad Gabaro, and others. It's a long list. I think we've probably got a list longer for the injuries than we do available players, but certainly whoever plays tomorrow, I'm sure they'll go out there and give it their all. And also, I've got to say a big good luck to Izzy Hobson as well, who's a young Evertonian, just turned 17. She's the youngest goal scorer in WSL history when she scored against Arsenal last year at just 16 years of age, and she'll be playing in the Merseyside derby tomorrow. She's a season ticket holder at Goodison as well, and I know her dad's a massive Blue, so just want to wish her an extra special bit of luck, and it'd be fantastic if she could get her name on the score sheet.